I'm recording how much time? Shalom Aleichem, live at the Grapevine, the Kosher Wine Review. And I'm here today, wow, I'm stuttering a little, I'm exhausted. Baruch Hashem, may Hashem give us all lots of energy. This is Domaine Lamartine. This is Cotes Du Rhone 2011. And if anybody knows about Rhone wines, these are not heavy, knock you over wines, but they're also not light and fluffy like some of the lighter Pinots and or Rosés on the market. You can get a lot of character, you can get a lot of nose, a lot of smell from the wines. And please people, smell the wines as I top off this glass a little bit here. If you don't smell the wine, then 85+% of our whole sensory perception that is used to enjoy a wine is negated. You will not enjoy the wine as much, not possible. So, as I was saying, okay, this is a pretty aromatic wine. I would call it like a cool little green herb thing going on. Definitely some, like, not the lighter sweet cherries, but a little more maraschino-ish, but lose the sweetness. And then there's these like prickly berries you can find out in the woods that I'm getting a little bit of. And what that means is I'm smelling the character of what I'm describing in the juice of this wine. It doesn't mean they're actually grabbing these weird berries and squishing them up and dumping them inside this wine. They're not doing that. This is just a grape. This is naturally fermented, fully fermented wines that are aged probably in oak barrels or in steel tanks is the tradition. This may have a little bit of wood, I'm not sure. I'm not necessarily smelling a lot of wood. If any, it's really fruity. L'chaim for bracha, I already said a bracha, and it smells really great too, by the way. And l'chaim. It's a medium-bodied wine, and I love the scale. Skim milk is light, 2% is a little bit fuller. Then there's like a vitamin D milk, a whole milk, and cream. This fits right in the middle of that, leaning a little bit heavier, but it's a lighter style wine. Beautiful fruit, very smooth wine. I believe this wine has like 14% alcohol and barely a tinge of any alcohol note on it whatsoever. Only rising on the finish, which means you feel it a little bit on the end of the drink. The wine has beautiful fruit. It's got a pretty lingery finish for not being a tannic heavy wine. It's definitely a fully dry wine. Definitely some tannins going on. I'd call them a sweeter tannin, like if you had someone putting like cedar wood dipped in like a honey or something. But the honey would be raw and it'd be creamy. Again, not a sweet wine at all. It's totally dry. More kind of wild berries, some field herbs. I think, yeah, definitely a dry wine. It's got some tannins going on. The wine is not going to fall over in a year and a half. You can let this sit for a year, 2, 3, no problem. Super enjoyable. It's just below 30 bucks. I'm Yehoshua Werth, live at the Grapevine. This is the Kosher Wine Review with Domaine Lamartine, Cotes Du Rhone.